Mr. M.R. Jaishankar joins us now, Brigade Enterprises. Let's understand from him what the outlook for 2023 for the real estate sector is, for the city where he's got large amount of concentration, Bangalore, how things could shape up in the event of what is happening in the IT and the startup world. Mr. Jaishankar, good morning. Thank you for joining us. It's been a good year for the real estate sector, and I'm looking at the data points which we've got from your company, the industry, and what other real estate brokerage firms have shared with us. Yeah. Our first question is that as we look into 2023, do you expect the uptick to continue in demand, or do you think pricing also will improve?
Good morning. Good morning to all. As it appears, the trend is likely to continue, particularly in Q4. And, we also need to see the overall impact, if any, of the budget, which is hopefully central budget, which is hopefully good. And also the external macro factors that is happening in the international scenario. Whether it is the COVID increasing COVID in China, whether it will spread to other countries, etc. These are some of the factors. Time will only tell. But as things stand, it is continuing to do well, and it should do well. The Brigade is in four sectors: residential, office, retail, and also hospitality. Other than, or in fact, all sectors were doing well in the first half of FY23. But the bit of so-called recession in the Western world has had some impact on decision making in the office leasing. So that is one thing to be seen, because ultimately that is job creation, which will have an impact on every other sector. But whereas retail and hospitality have done extremely well in the recent past, hospitality business has exceeded pre-COVID levels, and compared to FY22, the business has gone up by more than 100% in FY23. And so is the case with residential. It has done the highest ever sales in calendar year 2022. So that way we are quite bullish on the sector.
Are you getting any feelers that the global slowdown could start impacting residential sales as well? We know for sure that the IT sector per se is unlikely to give such strong incremental hikes which everybody got in 2020 and 2021. So sentimentally, it could be a dampener, and interest rates have gone higher, which means affordability changes. So could there be a slowdown largely in the residential market also?
As it stands today, it is not so. It may not change at all. But you rightly mentioned, sometimes it's all about the sentiments. If there is a gloom and doom in the global scenario, things can change. Though there is inherent demand for residences, with though the interest rates have gone up a bit, it is still not bad at all. It is one of the best rates. Compared to earlier years. So that way it is still not bad. And the affordability, particularly people's ability to spend, has gone up due to increased earnings. Whereas the prices of real estate also has gone up in the last year, or in this current year, last few days we have, to the extent of 5 to 7%, and in some cases even a little bit more. But that is naturally expected with increase in input costs, particularly steel and cement, and other than that, even the labor costs have all gone up tremendously. So that way, and there is a 5 to 6% inflation also year on year, which is required probably, and it will result in price increase.
So we've spoken about two sectors, the commercial sector and the residential sector. Let's talk about the other two. Commercial, when I say malls and hospitals, what is the update there?
No, as I said, though the walk-ins have not fully reached the pre-COVID levels, the business has gone up by 30 to 35% as compared to pre-COVID also. Even the rental rates, leasing rates have also gone up by about 30 to 40%, depending on the mall to mall and the kind of business, whether it is fast food or whether it is apparels or entertainment, etc. And including the multiplexes in the month of October, the multiplexes posted the highest ever sales or revenues. Revenues. Of course, it is dependent on the new movie releases and the quality of new movie releases. But the things are generally on the brighter side. So is the case with hospitality. As I said, we have 8 operating hotels in 4 cities, and all have shown extremely good and improved occupancy rates, plus the average daily rates also, ADR, what is referred to as ADR, daily rates, that has also gone up to the extent of I would say 15 to 20%, and there is a scope for it to go up further, in my opinion. And due to the COVID impact, not many new hotel constructions started. So with the result, the existing hotels should get the benefit of improved occupancies, and improved domestic travel is happening in a big way. And if the international travel also starts happening to pre-COVID levels, I think the ADRs should go up even higher, and so also the occupancy rates.
Morning, Mr. Jaishankar. Given the fact that you're alluding to demand having picked up, give us a sense as to what the outlook is when it comes to pricing and pricing trends for the year ahead.
Pricing for residential sector, or so as I mentioned, in all the sectors, whether the residential sector pricing has gone up by anywhere between 5 to 10%. Leasing rates, though there is a certain amount of postponing of decisions in office leasing, but the office leasing rates have not come down. On the other hand, it is going up to the extent of 3 to 5%, you can say. I'm saying based on our own experience. And so is the case with retail malls. The rental rates, what we are leasing now, is at least 30% higher than the pre-COVID level. And I did mention about the hospitality also in somewhat similar lines. Not 30%. In hospitality, it is about, I would say, 15% increase in room rates we have noticed. And it has got the scope to go up further in 23.
Okay. And, given the fact that you have a dominant presence in Bangalore, which is your key market, given the attractiveness of the West, the North markets as well, will you be looking to enter these, markets in a big way anytime soon?
Yes. See, currently we are somehow focusing on Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and to a smaller extent where we have some presence in Kochi, but that is office leasing. But at least in the near future, we will focus on these 3 cities, which are all fast-growing cities in the country. And I know MMR and NCR have got great potential, and in fact, they contribute the highest number 1 and number 2 spots in residential real estate they occupy. But I think we are satisfied with being in these 3 cities.
Yes, you are, given the fact that you're very dominant when it comes to South India, maybe it makes sense to play to your strengths as well. Mr. Jaishankar also wanted to understand, as far as the expectation is concerned from Union Budget 2023, is just a month from here on. We have seen that given the tough times that were going on in COVID, we saw that, stamp duty reductions, etc. from state government, plus a lot of other incentives were also given. Do you expect anything big to come out of Union Budget, maybe in terms of affordable housing, etc.?
I'm not very sure, and I'm a bit skeptical, primarily because the FM has indicated the budget will be, more futuristic for the next 25 years or so. And we are a bit disappointed that in the winter session of the parliament, the Desh bill connected with ACG sector was to be tabled in the parliament, but that did not happen. I hope they will give clarity on the Desh bill, wherein the ACG buildings or sectors can also have some amount of domestic business.
At what point in time you would be looking at reducing the impact of commodity prices, which is that price of cement, steel, construction, labor cost, everything has gone higher. But looks like the base effect has kicked in. If the base effect kicks in, would you be passing it back to your buyers, your customers?
No, as long as it is the customer's ability to, absorb the increase in prices, every business will try to pass it on to the customer, end customer. But that is, I think, is an obvious, decision businesses will take. But if there is a resistance, then businesses will also take a hit and absorb the increase in cost. So it is all a question of demand and supply. And but whereas the customer's ability, purchasing power has gone up in the recent past, and it will continue to go up as our country's GDP improves. The ability of a customer to afford higher prices will also is surely to go up.
Jaishankar, for highlighting some of those key takeaways for the company as well as the sector as a whole, talking about how the demand trends are likely to continue, that we've seen the real estate sector do quite well, and that rental rates as well when it comes to the retail malls have been 30% higher than the pre-COVID levels.